Hi, this is Fred Barstein with 401k TV, and I'm here at the University of New Mexico, where we just completed TPSU, the Plan Sponsor University program, with our adjunct lecturer, Curtis LaCrosse. Welcome, Curtis.
Thank you, Fred.
And we thought while we had him, we would ask him a few questions. Okay if we ask you a few questions today?
Absolutely.
So before we start, Curtis, why don't you introduce yourself?
So I'm Curtis LaCrosse. I'm a financial advisor with RBC Wealth Management, and I'm a CKP and specialize in helping folks with their 401k plans.
And located in Albuquerque, New Mexico.
Albuquerque, New Mexico, absolutely.
Very good. Well, in your program today, you talked about how some of your clients, after your last program, which was just November, you started using the stretch match. And you know, how did that? What was the reaction initially, and how did it work?
You know, we definitely had some pushback from plan sponsors. They were concerned about the message that it would send, but what we found was that through the education process, it really increased participation, or the contribution rates, excuse me, because people didn't want to leave that free money on the table, but it took education to get it there.
Right.
And so what we did was we ran a lost opportunity report, if you will, and simply said, look, here's the amount of money you're leaving on the table, and then we did one-on-one meetings with those folks that were under contributing, and probably half or more got up to the full matching amount once we had that conversation.
So the stretch match, why don't you know, for those who don't understand, what does that really mean?
Well, so the biggest plan that we did that with, it was a dollar for dollar match to 3%. And so, as you suspect, most people would just put in 3%.
Right.
And we moved it up. I would have liked to have moved it a little higher, but we moved it to 50 cents on the dollar. And so
up to 6%.
Up to 6%, right?
Right.
So 6% to get 3, and we got most people up to the 6 because they didn't want to leave that money on the table.
Right.
But once we got through the initial month or so, it's not even, nobody even talks about it any longer. It's not an issue. And now the new employees that are coming in, they didn't even know that there was any other world before that, right? Yeah.
So there was virtually no reaction from the employees on this.
There was certainly no negative reaction, which was the big concern. There was just a need to be educated that this was the new process, and that they really had to get that contribution level up to get to the full match. And nobody was upset about it. Most people just went ahead and moved their match up, or moved their contribution rate up.
So the initial concern was more from the HR or the finance group that
the practice administrator, right?
The practice administrator.
Right.
So then, as a result, you said you have a deferral. I mean, are the administrators happy, or they're?
Oh, absolutely, they're thrilled.
Yeah.
Absolutely, they realize they've done a good thing for their employees, and that they're contributing better, and they're more likely to have a successful retirement now.
It seems like everyone wins in the stretch match, right?
Absolutely, and in the long run, it probably does cost the company a little less money, but that wasn't the goal. The goal was to get more money into the plan, to help people be more successful and set themselves up for a better retirement.
And even though initially some people that might have been at, let's say in your company, 3%, now they have to get to 6%, they quickly got to 6%.
And actually what it really did is it gave me a chance to do some really good education, and we had some go even further.
Right.
Because as we've talked about in our TPSU event today, you know, 10% used to be the number we kind of gave folks as the bogey they needed to be hitting. But given where markets are, maybe the new number is really 15%. And so it gave me the chance to have that conversation with people. And a lot of people moved up even beyond the 6.
Right. Beyond the 6, and because it's, you know, 10% as the deferral might be okay for the employee, but when you include the match, you know, let's say in this case it would be another 3, it'd be 13, and now we're getting close to where we need to be.
And I told them that, you know, the ideal would be for them themselves to put in 12, take the company's 3, and you're at your 15.
You're at the 15.
And a few people did. Now, it was a small number, but a few people did do that.
Right, but at least we got them a little bit.
Absolutely.
One step at a time.
Absolutely.
Right? Very good. Well, thanks for your time today,
Thank you,
Curtis.
Fred.